So you want to get more arena points faster than ever and start to rack up them arena points and gain thousands every single day? Well, that's good. So you should keep that spirit, because I personally never thought I could do that. However, by using these tips in today's video, I absolutely smashed that and started to gain almost 2,000 arena points a day, enabling me to actually participate in some of those high-end tournaments. So the first thing is to understand what arena is. Now, it's actually a game full of sweats all trying to compete to get the most amount of arena points possible. Now, this isn't the real advice of the video, but you guys do need to remember that actually surviving the game is the most important factor and not kills. Hang on one sec, go down to the comments and go ahead and comment how many arena points you guys have before watching these tips. But hey, if this is the first time you've ever hearing me, then please do consider subscribing to my channel if you actually want to get better at Fortnite, because I'm actually always helping out my subs, letting them choose the tips that they need. So all you have to do is subscribe, turn on notifications, be early on a video, and then request your own personal tip video and it'll be made for you. Also, let's aim for 1,000 likes, so that means everyone watching this is gonna have to like it. Alright, but let's move into the tips. So the first thing is going to be your landing spot, but it's not going to be any old landing spot. I'm going to recommend you this one in specific. It's this boat that goes around the edge of the map. So as soon as you get in the battle bus, look around and identify where it will be. You'll be able to see it no matter where from. Then you need to actually be watching your enemies when it comes down to landing, so you can actually beat them to the guns. I highly recommend trying to land on this pole up top here, so that you can actually go ahead and get the gun before anyone else, so you can drop down as soon as possible. The only reason I got this kill is because I landed on that, dropped down, and be able to kill the kid. Then, you want to ASAP, you want to be farming as many mats as possible, so if you do get into a fight, you can build up, and you should be able to protect yourself. Next, try and loot some of the chests in the actual building you're in, or the boat. Then, look for some picks. I actually found this kid running away, which was a free spray. Then, from killing him, I actually got 100 shield and 100 health. This allowed me to push someone else. Then, you need to actually use all the angles on the boat or the building as possible, so if you're in a boat or a building, look through the windows for free shots. Also, if you get in a box fight at the start of the match, don't stress about it. Try and look for a free pump on the kid, and then once you get that free pump, then you can actually go ahead and push him a bit more. This kid actually had me a bit trapped here, but I just had to play it calm and actually got a nice pump off. Alright, so now moving on, you've killed the people in your house or the boat. You're now going to want to start to take any free shots you see off in the distance of other people fighting, because perhaps sometimes you could even get a free kill. Actually here, when I actually pushed the people, it was useful that I took those free shots because they were already weak before I pushed into the battle. And then when I went in there, I W keyed as hard as I could, and they were already super weak, and I managed to get a free pump. The best advice I can give to you to win mid-game fights is to keep high ground. So as soon as I killed that kid, I went straight up to high ground to fight off the other kid, because high ground in the mid-game always wins you the fight. Then from there, you are free to drop down and spray the kid in the head. From here, once you've passed the mid-game startup, you want to actually start to form a plan of where you want to rotate. Moving down the river, I actually encountered this fight here, which I actually ended up trying to shoot down. But this was actually a bad thing, because it actually led to the other guy getting some free shots off of me. Now, this causes the snowball effect. Now, this is important to listen up. What is the snowball effect? Well, he shot me now, so now I actually need to shield up before I can go into the fight, because I have a big pot. By taking the big pot, this allows him to get the high ground. And now, you need to try and avoid getting tunnel vision, because all that came from the tunnel vision of me trying to shoot down the build, and then that led to the snowball effect. Moving on though, it doesn't matter because I ended up finishing up and swiping him out of the fight with a nice shotgun shot. Alright, now I know I said the last thing was important, but this gets even more important. This is one of my own strategies that I like to call the mid-game flank. So what you want to do is actually strategize in your head when you're going to rotate. So in my head, people coming from Pleasant Park and people coming from Craggy are going to surround me. So I couldn't go down the middle, so I have to actually go all the way around and to a flank. You guys now to start envisioning where people will move from and rotate, and this is when you can actually heighten your game sense and actually play way better. However, the flank won't always be that easy, so listen up if you ever run into someone mid-flank. What you're going to want to do is go up for the high ground immediately and cut the fight off as soon as possible. Then utilize what you're good at. I'm a controller player, so I'm going to spray the hell out of the kid with an SMG. This is just a mid-game fight. If you're on a keyboard and mouse, take your distance, try and box fight as best as possible, and edit fast and whatnot. If you're on a controller, then all you want to do is use your SMG or your AR aim to the best of your ability and spray the hell out of them. Next, moving on, we're going to go ahead and start to recycle your transportation methods. So here, I actually placed a launch pad midway through that fight by accident. So what I'm going to do is actually recycle this to rotate over to a supply drop. I just used my launch pad, so I needed another one, which you can always get from a supply drop. Next, make sure to overprotect yourself, even if you're just looting a dead person or anything like this and you just killed someone. Always overprotect yourself in the mid game, because it's better off to stay protected and not die. Anyways, I got my next launch pad and I actually ran into a next fight. So listen up if you ever get into another one of these fights. You want to be maintaining the high ground throughout the whole fight. However, if they do something unexpected to get the high ground, then just box up and don't waste your mats. In this scenario, he got the high ground, so I just boxed up and didn't want to actually build fight him at this point because it's just a waste of mats. From there, I did what I'm good at on a controller and I just sprayed him with an SMG. But when they are low in the mid game, you want to keep pressing them because you don't want to let them get away. Unfortunately, in this scenario, he managed to bounce away. However, do not worry, you want to be tracking them down until you eventually secure that kill. Alright, now these are one of my next secret tips, and this is to visualize a plan you make in your head. So you're going to place a marker, and then you're going to look out to see if anyone will encounter you on the way around. In this case, no one was meant to be there. However, I actually ran into a kid. If you run into a kid this late in the game, you do not want to be fighting them if you already have everything you need. I already have my guns, I didn't need to fight him. However, I saw this next kid that I just thought I could get some free sprays, and if you get the opportunity to get a free spray, then do it. However, if they're extremely low after getting that free spray, use a short pad. Now what this is by placing a staircase above a pad to fly faster. But how I actually got into this kid's box was by actually using some of my box fighting tips, and I'll have a video linked in the description or a card in the corner, and I want you guys to watch that after this video so you guys can actually be more successful in box fights, as trust me, it's a super in-depth guide. This next tip here though is to actually recycle mats. If you ever kill anybody, then make sure to actually use the mats, build something, and then go back to their dead body and pick up the mats so that you have a building, and then you have the 500 mats back in your inventory. This next tip is you want to start remembering your enemy's positions. So I saw this kid moved into this attic right here, and the actual storm forced him to be stuck in there. So when it came to actually rotating for zone, I actually started to plan out my route. And then I went to visualize it and look where I'd have to rotate, but then by using the see-through wall trick, what you have to do is edit the wall and then reset it, and it works with brick and metal, and the wall will go invisible and you can see through it. Alright, so this next trick is when you're actually pushing people. So when you have a stair, edit the stair and you can see through the stair in case someone was to be peeking you. So remember that kid was over there, I actually used that to push him successfully. But remember in the late game not to get tunnel visioned. It is super easy to start focusing kids, but you need to start going for more free sprays. So as you can see, this kid flew through the air and I had no clue if he was weak or not. But you need to actually start taking shots just to see if anyone could be weak. Don't worry about wasting ammo because it could be worth it in the long run with a free kill. Alright, so now we're coming down to the late game. And now this is where you're going to want to go ahead and start to use your launch pad when it comes to a moving zone. And then you want to go ahead and start to use other people for rotations or their rotations already placed. So there was a spare launch pad there that the community, and what the community is the lobby. And then the lobby can all use that launch pad. It's a free rotation. Make sure you're looking out for things like that or people tarping, and you can go ahead and jump on top of them. So from here, for example, you want to look back into zone once you've rotated, and you can actually get some free sprays on people. As you can see, I'm in front of the whole lobby because I rotated early, and that gives me the opportunity to look back and spray people. Then start to ride off the back of people and conserve your mats if you have high ground. This is the sort of time you want to be on high ground. Make sure you're fighting off other people and keeping your high ground. Make sure you're asserting that dominance and letting people notice your high ground. As you can see here, I'm still planning my route ahead of me and pinging it just so I know where I've got to work with and where I've got to go the whole time. Then I found out someone was above me, so I shot him out and I continued to maintain my high ground, letting everyone know that this is my high ground and not to be messed with. You guys need to be doing the same thing so that no one can test you for it. Then stay on height for the rest of the match and get some free kills from down below. It's so easy to start spraying people and start using up all that ammo you've saved up from the whole match, as this is the best time to be using it and spraying down on everybody. However, don't drop down too much though for those kills and don't get too greedy. So now what you can see me doing is actually spraying out the person in mid game. So there's 3 of us, and what I want ideally to happen is for the other 2 people to fight for me. So you want to start to force other players to fight when it's in like the top 3 scenario. So if you are in height, try and spray the other person down so they have to fight with each other and you can get the win by yourself. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be that easy in my match though, and I had to drop down because I had no materials left and I had to fight a kid. However, unfortunately, this really random thing happened where I actually got shockwave grenade outside of the zone. The best way you can do to actually avoid this is by looking for picks when you're in zone and trying to get a free kill and try and get some free health from killing someone. Unfortunately, that didn't happen and I died. However, the person that won actually used a really good strategy, and I can recommend that if you want to, by using shockwaves in the last round to knock out people into zone. But yeah guys, if you are still watching, then please do consider liking, as you've clearly enjoyed the video, so please go down and like it. Also, make sure to subscribe for more tips and future, because obviously you've soaked up all these tips. You could do with some more, so make sure to subscribe and put on those notifications. Be early on a video, and you can actually request one of your own videos to be made about you, as all of my happy subscribers are always requesting videos, so make sure to join in on our family and help me on the road to 90,000 subscribers. But anyways, guys, yeah, drop a like on the video. It helps me out a ton. Let's go for 1,000 likes on today's video. Make sure to subscribe with those notifications on. But other than that, I guess you guys should watch another video, and I'll see you in the future. Peace.